Hi everyone, welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is a love message for singles. So there are 4 piles to choose from. I suggest selecting the pile that sparks a memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 2, Osterab, because there are 2 bunnies on this card, which reminds me of the 2 bunnies that my friend Natalie used to have. And also I've been talking a lot about bunnies recently because I would love to have a pet bunny, but you can't get just one because they need a companion, and I don't know that I have room for 2. And that has been a topic of conversation for me quite frequently recently, so that is what I would choose. I will put the timestamps in the description down below, so feel free to pause the video now to select your pile, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, the green Tara, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 2 of Swords, the Ace of Cups in reverse, 2 of Pentacles in reverse, the 8 of Cups, and the King of Cups. For your tea leaf reading cards, we got Kangaroo and Box. Okay, my pile 1s, my singles, what is the love message that the universe has for you today? So we start off your spread with this 2 of Swords, and immediately what I'm hearing is that you are being represented by the woman in the back of this card, kind of looking on at these 2 people shaking hands. It's like you feel like you're on the outside looking in when it comes to love, like you see other couples being happy and reaching agreements and getting along with each other and making pacts to be with each other long term, and you just feel like you stick out like a sore thumb. You feel like there's something different about you, or there's something wrong with you that is preventing you from being in a happy, healthy, stable relationship like these other people. And if you look at the body language of the woman on this card, she's got her arms crossed watching these people. And, crossing arms and body language can indicate a refusal to open up. And I think especially coupled with this 2 of Swords, I'm getting the sense that it's not that you are unlikable or unlovable. I don't think anyone is unlikable or unlovable except for like Andrew Tate or something. But anyway, I digress. You are closing yourself off from the possibility of love. You have your guard up really high. You're very strict about who you let in, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that I think you get in your head very quickly. Like if you were to meet someone that you kind of have a crush on, you're immediately thinking about all the ways in which it's not right, or that it wouldn't work out, or the ways in which they're different from you, because you are scared of kind of uncrossing your arms and allowing yourself to be emotionally vulnerable. This reminds me of a Fiona Apple song, Left Alone, which is it says, how can I ask anyone to love me when all I do is beg to be left alone? And I feel like that's kind of the energy that you're in. It's like you really would like to be loved, but you are not giving anyone the space or the opportunity to love you. It's hard to grasp someone, hold on to someone when your arms are closed. Do you know what I mean? You just have this mental blockage that is preventing you more than anything, more than whatever insecurity that you have, more than this feeling like you're not good enough, you're not likable, you're not lovable. It's your mental inability to kind of get past this hurdle and see that someone could love you, but you have to give them the opportunity to. And that's reflected in the second card in your spread, which is this Ace of Cups in reverse. So the Ace of Cups upright can indicate like a love offer, and in reverse, I feel like this is you feeling like you don't have any love offers. But actually, what I'm hearing is that there have been people that have had a crush on you or wanted to approach you, but they felt kind of turned down, or they felt like your energy was telling them that you were not interested. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you didn't like these particular people, and that's part of the problem, is that you haven't met someone that you really like, that you can see yourself opening up for. But you do have options in actuality. And in the middle of your spread, we have this Two of Pentacles in reverse. And in this particular Two of Pentacles, this is the goddess of night and day. So obviously they're opposites, but they're really working together when it's in the upright position. It's being able to balance energies, because that's what this card is really all about, is being able to balance. But in reverse, there's a sense of imbalance. And I think in particular, you focus a lot on the differences that you have with other people. And I think you let them psych yourself out. So obviously no one is going to be exactly the same as us, but I do think in relationships we should have shared or similar values. But, little things like maybe different upbringings or different tastes in music, kind of inconsequential things. I don't think that they should be impacting your ability to see a future with someone, but I get the sense that you are the kind of person, especially because I think you have a fear of being vulnerable, that it's very easy for you to look at someone and be like, well, we can't be together because they like to eat this kind of food and I don't want to go on dates to this kind of restaurant. It's like you harp on your differences in such a way that you blow them out of proportion, when in actuality they can work really well together. And I think that's the reason why you've had plenty of false starts or kind of fizzled out talking stages, situationships, beginning of relationships, dates, whatever. But the universe wants to tell you that it's going to be a transitionary period for you coming up with this Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is all about, like I said, transition. It's moving away from something towards something that's better. And you might not know what the better is at this very moment in time, but ultimately it will be more fulfilling than where you are now. And if you look at this card, there's a woman crying on the beach over all of her spilled cups, all of her, these Ace of Cups that have been offered to you, everything that didn't work out. And I think this is the energy that you're in right now, where you just feel kind of helpless. Like, I've had all these false starts. No one's really working out with me. But you will be transitioning. You will be like the person on the raft in this card who is sailing towards something better. You will be leaving behind this feeling of solitude and regret and a negative nostalgia for past failed romantic entanglements, and moving towards a kind of more hopeful situation where you are looking forward to the future, even though you don't know exactly what that entails yet. But I can tell you with a little glimpse that your future includes this King of Cups at the very end of your spread. So this represents, I believe, a particular person that will come into your life that will make you feel like, oh, we are well suited. I can see us being in a balanced, stable relationship. And this person could be a Scorpio or another water sign, so Cancer or Pisces, but most prominently Scorpio, or have a prominent water sign placement in their natal chart, so Moon, Rising, Venus. But this person will be very open emotionally. They don't hide their feelings from you. They're very patient, kind. This is a very healing energy that's coming in for you. So I think this person will kind of weasel their way underneath your crossed arms and make you open up your heart a little bit, despite your fear of doing so. And I think you will be really emotionally satisfied with this person, but you have to work a little bit on your ability to get over this feeling of looking for the bad in everyone. And I do think that this is a protective mechanism, by the way, because if you've experienced bad relationships in the past, it's very easy to be like, well, this person does the same thing as this person, or he said something that reminded me of this person, so I'm going to just cut it off, because that's kind of the thing I get. But I think you will realize that this person that's coming in for you, this King of Cups, has very nurturing, honest, emotionally available energy that's unlike maybe the people that have offered you romance in the past, and that is going to be the thing that really takes you out of this kind of defensive stance when it comes to love into a more easygoing place in your love life. So your first tea leaf reading card says Kangaroo, which says unsettled times and need to plan ahead. So the unsettled times are represented by these first three cards in your spread, this Two of Swords, Ace of Cups in reverse, and Two of Pentacles in reverse. Like I said, I think this is you feeling unsettled in romance because you feel like you just can't see it happening for you. You feel like everyone's a dud, or you feel like you're not worthy of being loved in the way that you want. But this is going to change soon as you go about this transition that is represented by the Eight of Cups. And then we have Box, which says you will receive a gift. And I think the gift in this is this kind of beautiful romance blossoming with this King of Cups energy. And this person could actually give you a physical gift. Maybe their love language is gift giving. But I can see them like writing, I saw like a card or like a little note on a bouquet of flowers that they might give to you. Definitely, they're very sentimental and romantic, so they kind of like written things like that. I can see them giving you something that has a little note about how much they like you. So your pile marker was this green Tara card, which says start delegating, ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. And I think ultimately this is really a reflection of this Two of Swords energy that you've been stuck in, a card of feeling indecisive about what you actually want, because part of you wants to be in a healthy, loving relationship. You want to be open and vulnerable and be able to experience that kind of love. But then the other part of you is so protective over your heart in a way where it's cutting you off from being able to experience joy, because unfortunately, with love, there's always a possibility that you will get your heart broken, but it's the ability to put trust in someone despite that really opens up the possibility of like a beautiful romantic thing. And so you're being asked to kind of put trust into the universe and to potential romantic partners, especially this King of Cups that is coming in, and not discard them because of your own fears. All right, my pile ones, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 2 of Stara, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Emperor, Strength, the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and Temperance. For your tea leaf reading cards, we got Chair, Empty, and Spear. All right, my pile 2s. So, what is your love message from the universe? We start off your spread with this Emperor. So, immediately what I'm hearing is that this is kind of representative of you. I feel like you have accomplished a lot recently in your life. Like maybe within the last year, you've kind of gotten every other aspect of your life resolved except for love. Like maybe you have a stable job, you have a place you live that you like, you have friends, whatever. You have all of these other corners of your life kind of figured out except for romance. And you don't really feel like you need love because you are very stable by yourself, but it's something that you wish for. But you're also unwilling to sacrifice your standards in any way. And that's a good thing. You should not be willing to just accept anyone in your life if they're not living up to the standards of what you would want in a partner, and especially if they're not living up to the standards of where you are currently at in your life. Like you wouldn't want to date someone who doesn't have a job if you do, you know what I mean? Or who doesn't know how to take care of themselves, because it really seems like you are a fiercely independent person. You're kind of an authority in your own life. Like you are taking care of yourself and you're completing all of these other tasks for yourself. So if someone enters your life, it can't be someone that detracts from all of the stability and security that you have built up for yourself. It has to be someone that adds to it and makes you feel more complete or happier. And also, the goddess represented on this card is Athena, the goddess of wisdom. So you've become really smart about relationships, and I think it is because you have experienced a lot of heartbreak that has made you really self-reflective, because it does seem like you have been single for quite some time. And this reflectiveness is represented by the next card in your spread, Strength. And in this card, the goddess is holding a snake, and she's kind of looking at it like, you don't threaten me at all. And I think this snake is representative of an ex or a former fling that you have. Someone who was a little sneaky. They betrayed you in some way. They hurt you in some way, emotionally. But I think previously you were like debilitated by this, but you actually used this betrayal as kind of motivation to improve yourself. And I think that's why you are in this Emperor energy that you are now, because you decided to focus all the energy that you had devoted towards this person or being worried about this person to focusing on yourself and improving yourself and like working on your mental concepts when it comes to romance. And so now you're at a point where you look at this person and they're like, you're nothing to me. Like, you're just like a sneaky little snake. You're like pathetic, you know? I want someone who I can respect. I want someone who has their stuff figured out and is wise on the same level that I am, and not someone who is slippery and sneaky and thinks that they can pull one over on me because I am too smart for you. But I think because you have reached this level of like understanding of what you really want out of a partnership and what you're not willing to tolerate anymore, it's harder for you to date, because you meet people and you can kind of tell immediately, like, this doesn't have long-term potential because this person is not mature enough, or this person isn't on the same level as me, like intellectually, emotionally, whatever. And so with these last three cards in your spread, the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and Temperance, you're really being called to find the balance between kind of just enjoying like the process of dating or going on dates for what it is, with trying to find your long-term partner. Because the Ace of Wands, this is like a new opportunity and it's something really fun to go on. So this to me is like maybe meeting someone and having a little spark and going on a date with them and just seeing where it goes. But I think that's a little bit difficult for you because you don't want to waste your time, because you're really looking for a long-term partner with this Ten of Pentacles here, because Ten of Pentacles is the last card in the spread of Pentacles. It's all about stability, and it's about cycles kind of coming to an end, and it can be about generations of families. So you're really looking for your life partner, and it's difficult for you to kind of subject yourself to the process of dating because you are so serious about it. But with Temperance at the end of your spread, you're really being called to kind of take a moment to find the balance between this, because only focusing on the future and like trying to not necessarily force commitment, but trying to like predict the future of a relationship without actually experiencing it is something that is going to be blocking you in the romantic department. So you really need to find that balance that is represented by Temperance. For a select few of you, I am getting a special message that if you are concerned that you're going to be single forever and you would really like to have a family, like you would like to have children, adopt children, whatever it is, you do not need to worry about that. I do see you having a child represented by this Ostara card, which is fertility, this Ace of Wands, which can indicate a new baby, and then the 10 of Pentacles, which is about generations of family. So I do see you being able to have a child if that is a concern for you. Now, when might you really kind of enter yourself back into the dating field or find someone that interests you? I am getting Aries season, so that would be late March through most of April, most strongly, because we have Ostara, which is where the word Easter is derived from, and Easter is in the springtime. And then we have the Emperor, which is representative of Aries, and Aries season is late March through most of April. So really strongly I'm picking up on Aries season is going to be an important time for some of you regarding your love life. So for your first tea leaf reading card, we got Chair Empty, which says someone is leaving your life. And I think that this is represented by the Strength card here. And this is the person in your past who was the snake who ended up leaving your life. And I think that you really held space for this person. Like, you might have dated them for a long time and you really saw a lot of stability with them. Like, you might have even planned your future and it ended up not working out, and now it was really devastating when it happened, but now you're over it and you realize that it was like a good thing actually, because it made you stronger and more reflective of like the kind of person that you could be in a long-term relationship with. But it has also made you like a lot harsher on potential dates, and so you're really being called to open up and just have a little bit more fun when it comes to romantic prospects. Your second tea leaf reading card says heartache over what you no longer have. And again, I think this goes with Chair Empty. I think that this was the energy that you were in before that you ultimately use as motivation to better yourself and try to figure out why it is that you were attached to someone who did not treat you well or did not see a future with you. And so now you're unwilling to accept people like that in your life anymore, which is a good thing. Your pile marker, Osteros, says fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. And this is reflected by the Ace of Wands in the middle of your spread. It's the perfect time for you to start kind of trying to go on dates and to have fun with it, to not take it too seriously, because I do get the sense that for some of you, you have a very strong fear of rejection. Because you felt rejected by this person in the past, represented by the snake. And even though you really worked on yourself and improved yourself, you have not dated in a while. And so the fear of rejection is still there. And what I'm hearing is that you have to learn that sometimes it's just really not about you. Like, have you, let's say that you work with a bunch of people, okay? And like 95% of them you don't want to date. And it's not that you're like repulsed by them. It's just that there's no chemistry there. Like, there's nothing there that makes me interested in them. I'm not attracted to them, whatever. And it's not because you think that they're a bad person or that they're ugly or whatever. It's just not there. And I think that you need to remember that if you feel rejected by someone, sometimes it's just not about you. Sometimes there's just nothing there there's no chemistry, there's nothing kind of pulling you towards each other. But not having someone who is not going to be devoted to you in your space is going to open up your availability for someone who does want you and is on your level and does see that kind of chemistry with you. All right, my pile twos, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 3, Mott, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Hierophant, the Queen of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Moon. For your tea leaf reading cards, we got Dog Barking and Eagle. My pile 3, so what is your love message from the universe? We start off your spread with this Hierophant coupled with the Queen of Pentacles. And what I'm picking up is that this represents someone from your past and you. The Hierophant is someone who is wise, who is very traditional, and maybe their expectations of like gender roles or how a relationship should play out. And in particular, the Hierophant can represent Taurus, and then the Queen of Pentacles represents Capricorn. And so the minor arcana version of this Hierophant would be the King of Pentacles, which also represents Taurus. And I do think that you are represented by this Queen of Pentacles here. But it seems like because this person is represented by major arcana and you're represented by minor arcana, that this person made you feel insignificant in comparison to them. This person made you feel like they were so much smarter, more experienced, more worldly than you. I just get the sense that they made you feel like a little bit dumb or stupid, or like you weren't doing things correctly in this relationship. And because of that, you have kind of been in this feeling of heartbreak, because I think you really looked up to this person, but being with them really diminished your level of self-esteem because you felt like you couldn't compare, and I do think that they played into that. The Hierophant in particular, this person, like I said, could have been a Taurus, or you could have met them during Taurus season, which is late April through most of May. And this person was probably pretty stubborn, but they were like sensual. They really liked the finer things in life. Like they might have been really good cooks. Like I said, pretty traditional. They are stubborn. They're definitely my way or the highway, but they can be pretty cuddly. They're probably introverted, like homebodies, but they gave you good advice, which is one of the reasons why you were kind of attracted to this person in the first place, because they do come off as very wise. But ultimately they kind of used these qualities about themselves against you to make you feel small and insignificant, like in their universe. But there's no reason for you to feel small or insignificant, because you are being represented by this Queen of Pentacles, which is a Capricorn card. So you could be a Capricorn or have a prominent Capricorn or other earth sign placement, Virgo, Taurus, in your natal chart. So Moon, Rising, Venus. But you are someone who is stable. You are someone who really like improves the lives of the people around you. You are good at helping things grow. You get things moving along. You are stable, you're caring, you're affectionate, and you're just really good at taking care of others. I think that you put a lot of care into the relationship with this person, but ultimately it didn't work out because you were just made to feel like you were not enough. And that was what left you in this Three of Swords energy in the middle of your spread. And the Three of Swords is traditionally the card of heartbreak. And this card in particular shows the fates, which represent past, present, and future. So there's this feeling that this is a cycle for you, where you feel like you get into a relationship and you really try your best to make the life of the person that you're in a relationship with easier, or you just want to be everything for them. You want to live up to their expectations, but you feel like you never can. You feel like you're not enough, and you feel like there's nothing that will necessarily stop that in the future, and that is something that is really debilitating you in the love department. It feels like you are pulling from a dried up well. Like this well in the background of this picture, I feel like this represents you. Like you give so much of your time and energy and emotion to these other people, and then you end up feeling empty and like drained and dried out afterwards. And I think that you're still kind of in this energy, and because of that, you're now acting like this Four of Pentacles, which is someone who is keeping everything really close to their chest. They're not opening up. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, the Four of Pentacles is represented by someone who's kind of like severely clutching on these coins because they're afraid to let it slip, but by not opening their arms, they're not being able to like go join everyone else or like see the rest of like the beauty or the rest of the material resources that they have available to them, because they're so stuck on making sure that they don't release anything that they have left. And I think in a love reading in particular, this can represent a sense of feeling like closed off emotionally, like you are refusing to kind of date or let anyone near you because you do still feel so heartbroken about the situation. And it can also indicate possessiveness, particularly over a person. So I think that part of you is still very concerned about this ex. Like perhaps you check their social media a lot to see what they're doing. Maybe you are still in contact with them and you get really jealous if you think that they're speaking to someone else or they have like another romantic prospect in their life. And because your energy is still holding on to this person so severely, it's going to be really difficult for you to move on, even though you want to. I think that you really do wish that you could just move on and have like a healthy, loving relationship, but I also think that your self-esteem has been beaten down in such a way that you don't know if you deserve it, and you also still feel attached to this person. I think sometimes rejection or feeling rejected or feeling like you're not enough for someone kind of breeds obsessiveness. It makes you want to figure out where you went wrong and prove yourself. And I think that this person from your past is taking advantage of that. They like that you're eager to kind of prove that you have these qualities that they told you that they didn't have. It makes you more lenient. It makes you more malleable to kind of being sculpted in the way that they want. This reminds me a lot actually of a relationship that I had. I dated this person for a few years, and whenever they treated me poorly, because I already had low self-esteem and I had not worked on it, I had not kind of improved my concept when it came to romance or relationships yet. Because of that, whenever this person treated me poorly, so for example, if they checked out other girls, if they told me that they didn't think they wanted to celebrate our anniversary, which actually happened, I would never be like, they're being terrible, like I should break up with this person, why are they being so rude for no reason? I was like, clearly there's something wrong with me that makes this person not want to like treat me well or give me the kind of love that I want to receive. And that's a really dangerous mindset to be in, because it gives all the power to this other person, and makes you feel like you could never be good enough. Because truthfully, I did so much for this person. I like literally cleaned their room, which is like embarrassing for me to say now. I like literally cleaned their place. I did all of these things for this person, and it still wasn't enough, because I felt like I was being compared to like an imaginary ideal in this person's mind. And I could have been, but ultimately that person wasn't real, so I would never meet the standards of whatever it is that they thought that they wanted. And it ended up just really like affecting my level of self-esteem and my ability to feel secure in a romantic relationship. But anyway, I feel like this is kind of the energy that you're in now, where you just feel like, I don't know if I'm enough for another person, and I also still feel emotionally attached to this person that made me feel like I was not enough. And the last card in your spread is this moon card. And the moon, astrologically in tarot, can represent our hidden emotions, our emotional cycles, and things like that. And in particular, the moon card in tarot is about using your emotions to kind of illuminate the things that were previously hidden from you. And I think that this really is like an emotional truth. I think kind of having the flip switch in your mind like it did for me, and realizing that actually this person was like way less than you, and they were clearly insecure, and that's why they were trying to make you feel like you weren't good enough, so that way you felt like you had to prove yourself and like be enough for them. Like this was actually on them, and they weren't like good enough for me. Like they just weren't. They didn't do anything for me. Why was the expectation that I had to do everything for them? And I think this illumination of the truth of like the emotions of this relationship, the ability to kind of cut through the darkness and the things that were murky for you, is going to be what allows you to be set free and kind of open your arms and go experience new things in a relationship. In your first tea leaf reading card is dog barking, which says advice from a friend. So I do think that maybe your friends have expressed this to you and you have not really been listening yet, but I think it's very important for you to kind of express your side to a friend and see what they say, because sometimes we tolerate things for ourselves that we would like never tolerate for a friend. Like if your friend came to you and said that the things that if your friend came to you and said that they experienced the same things that you did in this relationship, would you tell your friend that clearly they weren't good enough for this person, or they should try to prove themselves, or they should work harder? No, you'd probably be like, that person is crazy. You should not have to put up with that at all. Clearly they're a bum. And so I think sometimes you just need to hear like the outside perspective of your friends. Really, if you have not taken the opportunity to kind of just talk through it with your friends, I highly recommend doing that and just kind of being honest about where you're at emotionally, because I think that your friends will be really great pillars of support to lean on as you kind of gain this emotional clarity that's represented by the moon at the end of your spread. Your second tea leaf reading card is Eagle, which says triumph over troubles and obstacles, and that goes exactly with the moon. This is what is going to happen. You're going to triumph over this Three of Swords feeling of heartbreak, of feeling empty, of feeling drained, when you really change your mindset regarding this breakup, this heartbreak that you've had, and recognize that you were always enough and that this person was actually insecure and like intentionally trying to make you feel bad because they thought it would make you easier to manipulate and easier to make you stay, and it worked. But this person definitely seems like they are very manipulative, and I don't think you are. I think you're someone who is very caring and puts a lot of time and devotion into the things that you care about. And so it was easy for them to take advantage of that kindness. And I don't think that you should harden your heart by any means, but you should be able to reflect on how nurturing you are and how you deserve to be loved in the same way that you extend love to the other people in your life. So your pile marker was a mott, which says fairness, and it says this situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. So first of all, I do think karma is coming for this person. I think that they will soon find out exactly what they're missing out on, and maybe they will be a little bit reflective of the way in which they treated you, because this person doesn't measure up without you, and I seriously doubt that they will find another person who was that willing to kind of give them everything and love them, like in this kind of unconditional way. But also in this card, this person's holding a scale. And so this represents balance coming back into your love life. In particular, I see that in the future, you will be with someone who is putting in their fair share in the romantic relationship. You will not feel like you are always the one giving. You will not feel insecure or like you're not being valued in the same way that you did in this past relationship. And so it's really just about healing at this point, and that's what's represented by this moon card at the end of your spread, is that the healing is the most important part in order for you to come into this beautiful new relationship. So my pile 3, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 4, Kuan Yin, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Hanged Man, the Nine of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Chariot, and the Page of Pentacles. For your tea leaf reading cards, we got Clouds and Unicorn. All right, my pile 4s. So what is your love message from the universe? We start off your spread with this Hanged Man, and immediately I'm hearing that the people watching this pile have been single for a while, and there is a fear here about dating again. There's this sense that for a lot of you, you feel like you need to change things about yourself or fix things about yourself before you are prepared to date. And I know, let me give an example. So a lot of the times, I know this happens for women, where women feel like I need to become more physically attractive. I need to lose weight. I need to change my hair. I need to do whatever it is before I start dating again, because there's this fear that who we are as we are right now is not enough for anyone to want us. It's not enough for us to be loved. And these are fears that we are imposing on ourselves And I feel like for a lot of you, this is the particular fear, but it could be something else. Maybe you feel like I need to have other areas of my life figured out, like I need to focus on my career or focus on my schooling before I start dating. And I think that those are very important goals to accomplish. I think that if you have ambitions for yourself that you would like to take care of before you start dating, that is okay. But in actuality, this waiting period or you holding off on dating is kind of less about making these accomplishments and more about your fear of rejection, which is echoed in this Nine of Swords. Because I think for a lot of you, when you're like laying in your bed at night, this is kind of the thing you worry about. Like, is someone ever going to want to date me? Is someone going to want to be with me? This is something that gives you a lot of anxiety and kind of runs through your mind. But these are all mental limitations. This is a reflection of your own feelings of self-worth or self-esteem. And truthfully, your life will not, like, your true life, as some people like to think of it, will not begin once you reach some magic milestone. It won't begin once you reach some magic number on the scale. It won't begin once you get your degree. You're living your life right now, and you still have the opportunity to have fun and go out and find people that like you. You still have the opportunity to be in love. You still have the opportunity to date, because I think this is a mental thing more than it is an actual like need to focus on one particular area. Because at the end of the day, like if you're working, let's say this is about achieving a specific accomplishment, like getting a specific job or graduating from college or university, whatever. At the end of the day, if you're continuously working towards that, you're going to get that degree, get that job, whatever it is anyway. But like, you're going to get there. Do you want to get there with having withheld this thing that you want from yourself, or with maybe having taken the risk to experience it? Because I think truthfully for a lot of you, even when you reach this milestone or this goal, if you were to reach this milestone or this goal, you would still not be satisfied with where you're at, because this is less about having achieved something and more about your own feelings of self-worth. There's a lack of compassion towards yourself, and there's a lack of believing in your lovability. And that's reflected in this next two cards in your spread, this Page of Swords and this Chariot. So the Page of Swords is typically wielding a sword. In this card, she's wielding an arrow. But the Page of Swords kind of cuts through anything in its path. And the thing in its path in this is the Chariot, which is the card of forward movement, and learning how to take your sensitiveness, your compassion, and wield it for your own use. So right now, I think a lot of you are very sensitive and compassionate people, but your sensitivity is preventing you from being vulnerable because you're scared of being hurt and devastated, feelings of rejection. So you're intentionally coming up with ways in order to exclude yourself from dating, from love. But the Chariot would use that sensitivity and that compassion, that nuance of understanding when it comes to other people's emotions, to really be able to connect with someone else on a romantic level. But this Page of Swords next to it has her arrow pointed directly at the person on the Chariot card's head. So that you are blocking your own progress when it comes to love is what this is saying to me, because of your own anxieties and your own mental limitations. And the advice from the universe is this last card in your spread, this Page of Pentacles. And if you look at this card, she's sitting on a treasure chest. She looks happy. There's kind of clear skies behind her. The clouds seem to be going away. And the message here is to really focus on all the potential that you have, everything that you already have to offer. Because you do have so many amazing qualities. You have all of these things in your treasure chest. You have all of these things in your arsenal that make you unique, that make you lovable to other people. And like I said, I do think for a lot of you, you do have a very strong, compassionate energy. And so it might be helpful to think about, for example, all your friends or the people that you have been attracted to in the past. They might not have been, perfect on paper. Maybe some of your friends are struggling financially. Maybe they have, crooked teeth or something. But we never really look at the people that we like, the people that we love, the people that we're close to, and think about their flaws. If anything, we think it gives them character. It makes us see them for the unique person they are. And we can admire other people's things that maybe they are insecure about and see the beauty in them and see them as a whole person and not individual parts that need to be changed or upgraded like we might be doing for ourselves. And so that's really the message here. And maybe if you have friends that are close enough, maybe ask them, what is it that you think is likable about me? And don't hound them if they don't want to answer this, but I'm sure someone will say, I think that they might say you have really amazing eyebrows. You're really funny. You're the smartest person I know. Whatever it is, I think that having a sense of how other people in your life who already like you and love you are perceiving you will make you less afraid of the fear of rejection from other people, because ultimately the romantic partner that you would want in your life would be able to accept you as you are now and would encourage your growth, but not ask you to change who you are fundamentally in order to be loved. And this is all reflected in the pile marker you chose, Kuan Yin, which says compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So really that is your message, is to focus on the qualities that you have that make you lovable and the qualities that other people have that make them lovable, and how you don't nitpick everyone else's qualities like you do with yourself. And so these perceived limitations that you have that are holding you back from love are really all mental. And I think that once you learn to have more confidence in your qualities and your self-worth, then you will be more prepared to open yourself up to the possibility of dating and love. So your first tea leaf reading card is Clouds, which says temporary problems, which goes with this Nine of Swords. These are temporary problems. These things, these insecurities that you have, they are not something that will matter to the right person. The right person will see you for who you are. They will see you for your uniqueness, and they will still look at you and they will love you. And these problems that you have are not actually problems. They're just issues regarding your self-worth. And I think once you work on that, you will have a lot more compassion for yourself, and you will speak to yourself about these things that you are insecure about more kindly. Your second tea leaf reading card says Unicorn, which says use your intuition to make beneficial changes. And the message that I'm getting from Unicorn most strongly is that, they say unicorns are kind of very unique, one of a kind. So I think this goes with this Page of Pentacles, is figuring out what it is that you have to offer. What makes you unique? What are the special things in your arsenal? What are the things about you that other people enjoy? What are the things about you that you enjoy? What is it that you have to offer that makes people drawn to you? Because you do have things. I promise you don't. If you're listening to this and you're like, I don't have anything, sit down somewhere and make a list just of 5 things. It doesn't have to be crazy. 5 things that you like about yourself. It doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to be your accomplishments. It can be, I like that I can cook. I like that I am close with my family, whatever that is, because figuring out your unique set of circumstances that make you special and make other people drawn to you and want to be around you is what's going to get you to overcome this period of stagnation represented by the hangman and getting rid of this Page of Swords energy that's holding you back, and then being able to fully embody the Chariot and forward movement in your love life into a place where you feel like you have the space to demonstrate and exercise your potential. All right, my pile fours, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care.